Well, Zombie, big title fight this week. So you had to bring out the big guns, huh? You fired Eddie Cha as your translator, and you got a professional with you this week.
그 타이틀전이 중요한 만큼 되게 좋은 인력을 데리고 온 거 아니냐. 에디차 코치님을 해고하고 전문 통역 번역 사람을 데리고 왔네. 뭐 이런.
사실 뭐 그렇게 기대 안 했는데 기대하지 않았는데 너무 잘해줘가지고 다행히 좋습니다. 다 모든 걸 다 뭐 했죠.
He didn't expect much from me. He didn't expect that much, but I'm doing a good job, as he says, quoting from him, and he's trying his best to win this title fight.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know how many days it's been since your first title fight?
그 첫 타이틀전부터 지금 며칠이나 지난지 혹시 정확히 알고 계세요?
정확하게는 모르고 9년 정도 된 것 같아요. 9 year.
He knows that it's been 9 years, but not exactly how many days.
What would you guess? How many days do you think it's been since that night in Rio?
한번 맞춰보세요. 며칠이나 됐는지.
알아야 되나? 한 3,000일?
He doesn't really care, but like 3,000 days.
Yeah, that's pretty close. 3,170 days. Does it feel like a long time ago? Does that almost feel like another life?
그 정도로 느껴지는지, 그 실감이 나는지.
그걸 실감하면 제가 나이가 너무 많은 것 같아요. 그래서 실감 안 날래요.
If he feels that, he feels too old. So he doesn't want to feel old. So he doesn't really want to think about it. Yeah.
You said that you were nervous that week in Rio. Like, what do you remember about that title fight week? And beyond feeling nervous, like how did that feel when you were going through, like in the hotel, waiting for the fight to happen? Like, was it an enjoyable week? What do you kind of specifically remember about that week in Brazil?
그 주에 되게 긴장했다고 하셨는데 그 파이트 위크가 구체적으로 기억이 나는지, 그때 감정이나 되게 즐거웠는지, 어떤 사건들이 있었는지 이런 것들이 구체적으로 기억나는 게 있으면.
와, 근데 그 당시에 조제 알도를 알았던 사람들이라면 긴장 안 하는 게 없을 거예요. 아마 뭐 죽을 수도 있겠다는 생각이 많이 들었으니까. 그리고 브라질에서 했었으니까 모든 브라질 사람들이 다 뭐 제가 적이었던 상황이었어요. 그게 지금은 제가 브라질에 가도 아무렇지도 않겠지만 그때는 저는 그냥 겨우 24살, 3살밖에 안 됐으니까 좀 무서웠었던 것 같아요.
In that time, Jose Aldo was in his prime, so he was kind of like scared and nervous about him. He thought that he was actually gonna, like, Jose Aldo's probably gonna kill me on the ring. He thought like that, and in that time, the match was in Brazil. The fight was in Brazil, right? So the whole country was his enemy, and he was a public enemy to the Brazilian people. So that made him really nervous. He was like 23, 24 back then. So that nervousness and that terror or fear that he felt is the most memorable experience for him.
Man, what was that like, living that? I mean, being fearful for an entire week and then having to walk out in front of a crowd. Like, was that hard to even make the walk that night?
그때 파이트 위크 한 주간 되게 이렇게 좀 두려움이나 이런 것들 많이 느끼셨잖아요. 그러니까 그런 것들이 실제로 경험해 보니까 어땠는지, 그러니까 그렇게 일주간 막 두려움을 느끼고 나서 그 경기에 나가는 게 어떤 느낌이었는지.
그래서 그때 그 경기를 다시 보면 알겠지만 사람들이 first round, second round는 굉장히 제가 많이 안 움직였어요. 먼저 공격을 하지 못하고. 근데 이제 결국 같이 그라운드를 하고 막 몸이 섞이게 되면서 아, 조제 알도도 인간 사람이구나. 숨소리를 듣게 되고 이러니까 그때부터는 이제 좀 자신감 있게 경기를 했었던 경험이 있어요.
So in the first and the second round, he was. If you see the fight again, like on YouTube or anything, he doesn't really move that much, and he's not able to attack as much because he was very afraid and scared of Jose Aldo. But then in the after the second round, maybe in the third round, as they went on the ground grappling, he felt Jose Aldo out of breath, and that kind of made him think, oh, he's human too. And that's when he felt confidence and he started to go out on Jose Aldo.
If you had won that fight, like what do you think would have, how different would your career be? Because after that fight, that's when you did the military service. Had you beat Jose Aldo, what do you think, how different would your career be?
조제 알도전을 만약에 이겼으면 커리어가 얼마나 바뀌었을지. 왜냐면 조제 알도전 끝나고 사실 군복무도 하셨고, 만약에 이겼다면은 커리어가 어떻게 바뀌었을까요?
그러면은 아마 제가 어딜 가서 배우려고 하지도 않았을 거고 오히려 그 챔피언에 대한 업적 이런 거는 남았겠지만 제가 스스로 더 발전을 하지는 못했을 것 같아요. 왜냐면 내가 챔피언이 되었다는 거는 제가 최고라는 얘기니까 어디 가서 배우진 않았을 것 같아요.
Had he won the Jose Aldo fight, he probably would have turned very arrogant, and he would probably stopped learning and probably thought like he was the answer, and his ways and his methods is the answer because he would have been the champion, right? So if he did win that fight, he probably wouldn't have developed as a fighter like right now.
How important is it for you to be a champion? I mean, you've had a great career, win or lose this weekend. Like, does it have to happen for you? Like, do you kind of feel like you won't be satisfied with your career if you're not a champion? You're satisfied either way.
챔피언 벨트가 얼마나 중요한 의미를 가지고 있는지. 그러니까 왜냐면은 이걸 어쨌든 오랫동안 해왔고, 그러니까 이거 벨트를 만약에 딴다면은 그만큼 만족스러울지, 그리고 못 딴다면은 뭐 커리어에 만족을 못 하는지, 뭐 이런 것들에 대해서.
그러니까 이런 거를 생각 안 하려고 하고 있어요. 이런 것들 때문에 내가 케이지 올라가서 조금 소극적으로 되고 뭐 좀 몸이 잘 안 움직이는 그런 생각을 좀 하고 있어요. 물론 좋죠. 제 인생에 있어서 어떤 것보다도 가장 이루고 싶은 일이고, 하지만 뭐 그런 사람 둘이 만나서 싸우니까 한 사람은 결국은 안 되는 거잖아요. 뭐 그런 식으로 좀 덤덤하게 받아들이려고 하고 있어요. 하지만 무조건 이기고 싶다는 건. 네.
It's obviously very important. Like it means a lot for him to win the belt, because it's been a long time dream. It's been his goal for his entire life, but he's not really trying to think about the pressure or being obligated to win the belt or having to win the belt because like two people go on the ring, one is going to lose, right? So that could work as pressure on him, like mentally, and that might make him more nervous and more kind of less aggressive, on the ring, and that's probably going to negatively affect the fight. So he's not trying to think about any of that.
Mm-hmm. And then last thing for you, what would it mean to South Korea for you to win this fight? Can you put it into words?
벨트를 딴다는 게 대한민국한테는 어떤 의미인지.
뭐 일단 한 명도 없으니까, 그리고 아시안 남자들 중에서도 아무도 챔피언이 된 적이 없었고, 뭐 이렇게 가까이 간 사람도 몇 명 없었거든요. 사실 제가 가장 하고 싶은 말은 그거예요. 아시아 사람들이 약한 게 아니고 기회가 많이 주어지지 않았을 뿐이라고 저는 생각하고 있어요. 그래서 제가 챔피언이 된다면 아시아의 그런 성공, 뭐 이런 가능성 이런 것들이 많이 열릴 것 같아서 아시아 사람들을 많이 영입했으면 좋겠어요.
So if he does win the belt, it's going to be the first in South Korea, and he's going to be the first out of all Asian male fighters, and he's the first to go as close as he is right now to winning the belt. But then he thinks that the reason why Asian people are not really going close to the belt is not because Asian men are weak, but because Asian men are not given as many opportunities as possibly other races. So if he wins the belt, he wants to prove to the world that Asian men have the possibility and have the talent in them to be a champion, and he wants to open up that possibility so that UFC signs with more Asian fighters and MMA fighters out there.
Great stuff, man. Looking forward to the fight. Best of luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.